So much. Welcome to Birdland. Welcome to Birdland. We're the Nighthawks, music of the 1920s and 30s. And I'm your band leader for this segment. My name is Vince Giordano. Thank you. All right. Well, we opened up with a little fanfare. It was used for the Universal Pictures, by the way. And we like to do that because in case anybody's out there from Universal Pictures, we'd love to work for you. Anyway, it's written by a wonderful man named Jimmy McHugh, who wrote a lot of Broadway and film tunes and pop tunes, Jimmy McHugh, but he decided to write a fanfare back in 1937. And to play it, you got to have a special percussion instrument. And we have the guy with the right percussion instruments, a lot of percussion instruments. It's called a timpani. And that's Paul Wells back there on the big kettle drums. Actual kettle drum. You didn't bring the second one tonight. It got stuck on the subway. He brings them on the subway, and I don't know, it's hard. And then we segued into a Duke Ellington song from 1926 called The Creeper. And Duke was running around this kind of neighborhood here, about 47th Street or so, with his first New York big club called the Kentucky Club. And featured a lot of the guys in the band. Andy Stein, by the way, our violinist, took this off the record many, many years ago, The Creeper. And we had some nice solos there from Evan Armstrong on the alto sax. Nice. Mark Logan played some clarinet. It was, was that Sam Chess on the trombone? It must have been. We only have one trombone player. And Joe Boga doing some trumpet work along with John Kelso. They did a lot of stuff, and we had little breaks on the piano by our pianist Peter Yaron. Yeah, all right. Give him a break, will you? Okay. Right now, a song originally from 1922, and this is a British song, and the band leader Paul Whiteman heard it over in England and said, I've got to bring this song back to America, and he did. He was one of the first to record it. It's called the Limehouse Blues, and it's a very elaborate arrangement, dealing with a lot of different little tricks of the trade and a lot of percussion and all that kind of stuff. Limehouse Blues, Paul Whiteman. 1, 2, 1, 2. with some choreography thrown in there at no extra charge. That was Andy Stein on all those Fiddle McGree kind of things he was doing over there. And was that Dan Pearson playing the alto sax? It was Dan Pearson. He's one of the roving jazz musicians around New York City. He's roving here and roving there. Sometimes you see him at Arthur's Tavern, and then sometimes you see him at Winnie's Bar. He's going to be famous one of these days, and he's going to be in the papers too. Anyway, and and then we had our great percussionist double on a lot of different sounds. You had the temple blocks going. Play those little temple blocks for the folks. That's good. Good, good. And you got your gong in the back there too. Okay, that means the picture is about to start. Anyway, and Sam Chess, did you bring another trombone tonight?
No.
How come your trombone sounded different?
Yes, the megaphone, right?
The megaphone, I guess, yeah. Wow, that's scary. That's pretty scary. Well, what happens if you don't use the megaphone? What goes on?
Without it,
Yikes. Hey, you sound like Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. He plays the trombone. I've got proof. You saw it, right?
yes.
Okay. Hey, we have a great audience here at Birdland on West 44th Street, and we also have a great audience on the internet. We are doing a live stream right now. Believe it or not, if you older folks, that's a broadcast. Anyway, so you could tell folks, you can email them to tune in. You go to YouTube and you type in Radio Free Birdland, Radio Free Birdland, and they can join the party. No cover, no minimum, no clothes, no clothes. We're closed. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, where'd that come from? I don't know. Next, we're going to go and up to Westchester, and there was a wonderful band up there called the California Ramblers. They had nothing to do with California. They were New York guys. They had the Dorsey brothers in there, Adrian Orlini, Stan King, and a bunch of great. Red Nichols was in there for a while. And they made a record on the Edison label called Sweet Man. And Sweet Man was written by a fellow named Maceo Pinkard. Now, who's Maceo Pinkard? He wrote some great tunes like I'll Be a Friend with Pleasure, Sugar, Them Their Eyes, Sweet Georgia Brown, just to name a few, and this great tune called Sweet Man. This is transcribed by Andy Stein on the violin, and he features himself there too. What do you know about that? Renard playing on the violin, and Dan Pearson, you got another solo. How about that? Man, oh man, you didn't pay me enough tonight to be here. Okay, all right, we're gonna slow things right down right now. It is St. Patrick's Day for all you people that are celebrating St. Patty's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and we're gonna do an old tune that is a traditional tune. It's called Danny Boy. Now, this is not a jazz arrangement whatsoever, but this is a great homage to Irish people and Irish thing, and also to a good friend. I had a very good friend who left us this morning, early in the morning. He was an Irish man. His name was Robert White, a wonderful singer who recorded on the RCA Red Seal Victor artist. His father was Joseph White, who was known as the Silver Mass tenor on records and radios. And with Mr. White, we did a lot of fun gigs together. We made some cylinder recordings, and I also had him on the Boardwalk Empire soundtrack that we did many, many years ago. We did The Rose of No Man's Land, and it was just amazing. Google Robert White, he's amazing. Robert White, God bless you, wherever you are. And here's a good one called Danny Boy. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Robert White, who used to sing that all the time, too, by the way. That was one of his favorites. All right, we're going to get back to the 1920s right now and play a song that was written by two members of the McKinney's Band. McKinney's Band was a band out of Detroit, Michigan. They played at the Greystone Ballroom alongside the Gene Goldkett Band. And this is a hot one that John Nesbitt, trumpet man, and Don Redman, saxophone and arranger. They both were arrangers, actually. Did it's called Miss Hannah. And here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keenest clothes, fortunate with bows. Everybody knows Miss Hannah I'm speaking about. She never has a frown. She's the talk of the town. Men all gather round. For Miss Hannah I'm talking about you now. Is she lovely? Oh boy, I mean. All the other girls in town go around unseen. Does she have a style? And boy, what a smile. Men would walk a while for Hannah. There on the tenor saxophone, playing the original Coleman Hawkins solo, and what Dan Pearson again, man, this is your night to shine. Put an extra CD in his paycheck tonight, okay? That was John Kelso on the hot trumpet, yes, and you know the McKinney's band was played mostly in Detroit, and that's where John Kelso comes from, that Detroit area. I mean, he actually got to work with some of the McKinney's people. They were pretty old, and John was very young, and but it all worked out, and here he is in New York, okay, with some Motown memories. All right, we're going to slow things down right now and play something by the Jelly Roll Morton side of the tracks, and Jelly Roll Morton was I don't know what that last statement meant, but anyway, it just came out, rolled out of my mouth. He just rolled the tape and cut that out. What? He was from New Orleans, a great pianist, arranger, band organizer, and I like his singing too. This is a tune done by his Red Hot Peppers in 1928, a small little group, and it's called the Mournful Serenade. 2, 1, 2, 3. Jelly. That's mournful. Peter Yaron. Nice, okay. The Mournful Serenade. That's Peter Yaron doing those great Jelly Roll Morton licks. Jelly Roll Morton, yes. That's inspiring. And that was a strange record. There was no trumpet in there. I wonder if the trumpet player forgot about the recording date or missed it, or maybe he got fired before the session started. We'll never know the answer unless someone comes up with the manuscript someplace. But we had Dan Pearson again on the clarinet, and you're getting to know it. Pretty soon it's going to be Dan Pearson and his Nighthawks. But anyway, and that was Sam Chess. Now, you were using another little accoutrement there. I speak a little French. What'd you have there?
Smaller, just the derby.
The derby?
Metal hat.
A metal hat? Do you ever wear it?
Logie does.
Logan wears it? Oh, okay. Well, that was very effective. Very effective. Okay. Actually, the brass section all have derbies. Sometimes they wear them. All right. Here's a good one from 1927, written by Red Nichols. Red Nichols was a cornet man. Sometimes he played the trumpet. I've got pictures of him with a trumpet, and even though people say, no, it can't be, well, there it is. Anyway, earlier on, I think he was experimenting. He was from Utah. He got to New York in the early 20s and started making recordings with just about everybody. And then he had his own band. This is written by him, but it's not his band that played it. It's another trumpet player who had the original Memphis Five, a guy named Phil Napoleon. And it's a tune written by Red Nichols. It's called 5 Pennies. We recorded this many years ago on the Stomp Off label. And here's Joe Boga and John Kelso and lots of guys to play it for you. 5 Pennies. 1, 2, 1, go. Pennies. Red Nichols had a group, by the way, called Red Nichols and his Five Pennies Nichols, and there's all kinds of stories. When he used to go on the road, he'd get some advanced people to show up and just pass out these wooden red nickels. They looked like a nickel, but they were wooden, and he would pass them out because he was coming to town. Anyway, that was Joe Bogan on the high notes there, and trumpet, yep, and John Kelso on the middle notes, and Sam Chess and I were on the low notes there, the low notes. They're nice. And how about our wonderful multi-talented drummer there, Paul Wells, catching all that vibroharp stuff. Nice, that's it, nice, all right. Now, as you know, we do this live stream broadcast, whatever you want to call it, so we get a lot of requests. And generally, one of the Nighthawk rules or commandments is, well, we take requests, but we don't play them. But this was a very sincere email from a lady in England, and she said, "Oh, dear Vince," she said, "Dear Vince, you know, people write you emails, they don't even call your name and say, hey, you know." Anyway, she was very dear. She says, "Would you play something by Ambrose?" And I said, "Well, okay." Ambrose was one of the great British dance bands, and so I came up with this little fun number that was composed and arranged by Sid Phillips. Sid Phillips, a great British composer and arranger and saxophone player. And this is a little fun piece called Mr. Renard's Nightmare. And Renard, I think, is French for fox. And you know, the British like to do the fox hunts and all that stuff. Here's some saxophone. Good, good. Here's some brass. Here's some brass. Okay, I'm going to give some over to the rhythm section. Good, that one came out good. Nice. Sometimes they get there, you know. And, okay, this is from 1939, one of the newer numbers in our book here. What, first time reading? So guys, make sure you please have the right parts in front of you, because it sounds better that way. All right, good luck, everybody. Mr. Renard's Nightmare, or My Nightmare. I'll give you two measures. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sid Phillips, he had some great humor. Mr. Renard's Nightmare. Thank you guys. Thanks for playing that. Mark Logan on the tenor there. Peter Aaron at the piano. I think I heard a little guitar by Devin Corton. Was that you, Devin?
Oh, just a little tiny bit.
Just a little tiny bit. Okay. Something is always good. Because I never know. Sometimes Devin slips in and slips out. We have a guest guitarist come in there while I'm not looking. Well, I think it's time to put the charts away, the arrangements, and we're going to play some old-time traditional jazz. And John Kelso, what you got?
How about I'm looking over a four-leaf clover?
Oh my goodness, that's an old. I think that's Harry Woods. I think who wrote that. Harry Woods. There's famous stories about him, but they're too long to tell. Okay, I know the Gold Kid Band played it with Billy Murray on the vocal. Billy's not here tonight. Can we do this in two flats, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is going to be two flats. I just want to warn all the ukulele and banjo players out there on the net in case they want to sit in. They either tune your banjo down a full step to play in C with us like the Redbone used to do. Here it is. I'm looking over four-leaf clover. 1, 2, hop, go. That's Andy Stein. I'm looking over four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf is sunshine, the second is the rain. Third are the roses that grow in the lane. No need explaining, but somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover until I play my bass saxophone. Out there with his clarinet, nice, yeah. With John Kelso on the trumpet, and Sam Chess playing his great trombone. And we finally got a full banjo solo, Devin Cortan, there you that. You see that? If you wait around, everything comes to those who wait. You get a full solo. And our pianist took a little excursion from his piano and played a jazz chorus on this little music box called a celesta or celesta. You've heard it in classical music, but occasionally guys like Don Redman and Fats Waller and Lenny Hayton would all fool with the celesta, and I'm sure there's more. But Peter Yaron is the only jazz celeste player in Birdland, that's for sure, because he's the only one that brings it in. Hey, give us a little toast of that, or taste of that celeste. Well, sometimes it works out. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. All right. Folks, this is like live TV. There it is. You'll get it next week. You'll get it next week. Okay. Another guy that took a departure from his violin or his baritone sax, which he should have done on that, is a guy named Andy Stein, and he played the phono fiddle, the Stroh violin, or simply the violin with the horn on it. And there it is. Show him that crazy instrument. I didn't say play it, show it. That's enough. Okay. Well, there's a wonderful newspaper that comes out every month called the Syncopated Times, and we have some free, F-R-E-E, free copies over there that you can take. And the editor was so moved by that instrument, that phono fiddle, that he decided to put Andy Stein on the cover. And there it is. It's a Andy Stein special. And if you pick it up and have him autograph it, why, in a couple of years you could bring it to the flea market and get at least $2 for it. So there it is. Seriously, folks, if you want to learn about what's going on in the world of old-time traditional jazz, ragtime, early swing, this is the paper to get. You folks online, you can get it online too. So that's that. And also in there is our little advertisement for Birdland. Like I said, we're here Mondays and Tuesdays, 2 shows each night, 5:30 show, 8:30 show, and then on Tuesday we do this live stream broadcast baloney, and it's nice. We're getting emails and all kinds of wonderful notes and not so nice notes, but it's okay. I like to talk to everybody. Anybody interested, Send it right on. There you go. I appreciate the one person that applauded for my bass saxophone solo. That's okay. You know, no, please don't ruin it. One clap is all I need. But what I always say, this is my special Nighthawk punch that's made by our bartender there, Peter. And I've had a little bit of it, but I always say the more you drink, the better it sounds. And the more I drink, the better I think it sounds. Let me see. How sweet it is. There you go. Thank you. Back there on the timpani and drums and everything else, that's Paul Wells. Paul Wells. How about that drum solo? Yeah, man. All right. Well, Peter Yaron, you gave up a piano solo to play on a little music box. How about doing a real piano solo of your own choice? What do you want to do?
I'd like to do a piece by Mary Lou Williams called Nightlife.
Nightlife by Mary Lou Williams, great Kansas City pianist. Take it away, Peter. by Mary Lou Williams. And at the time she was in Kansas City working with the Andy Kirk Band. She did a lot of arrangements for them. She later did arrangements for Count Basie and Benny Goodman. I think Camel Hop is one of hers, maybe. And then later she went on to write all kinds of wonderful sort of classical music, sacred music. She had her own suites. Very talented and important lady, Mary Lou Williams. Thank you. We're going to do another important piece of music played by a wonderful fellow, I'm sure you've heard of it, named Louis Armstrong. Do you folks know about Louis Armstrong? All right. Wow, that's good. That's good. Now, you came to Birdland, which is a good thing to be in New York, but you've got to go out to the Louis Armstrong Museum House. It's there out in Queens. You can just take the 7 train to Corona, and you're going to get an earful and an eyeful and all that stuff. We have some free flyers like that. They're big flyers, but it's great. And his artwork, his music, he even greets you, says, hello everybody, you know, whatever. They have it all on digitized. And one of the great treats that these 2 trumpet players got was to actually blow on Louis Armstrong's golden horn. They brought it their mouthpieces, and there you go. That's pretty neat. So Louis Armstrong was this important jazz man starting in the 20s from New Orleans. He got a lot of help from a guy named Joe Oliver. Joe Oliver was also a New Orleans trumpet player, or cornet. They played both at the time. And Joe got out to Chicago earlier and started a great band, but he needed Louis Armstrong to really make the whole thing great. And he got Louis to leave New Orleans. And Louis was oh so grateful for what Joe did, Joe or King Oliver, whatever, and he called him Papa Joe. So after it was written a couple of years, Louis got a bunch of guys in the studios like Zooty Singleton and Earl Father Hines, and they cut this great homage to King Oliver. It's called the West End Blues, and there's lots and lots written about the West End Blues. Check it in Google, and you'll be amazed what it did for jazz and what it did for Louis Armstrong's career. Okay, John, it's all yours. How about those clarinets now? Come on. Doing that Earl Father Hines solo. Come on, give him a nice one. Yeah, man, give it up. John Kelso on that great Louis Armstrong chorus. Woo! All right, just a little bit more about John Kelso. He's about 5'10". No, he's. I'm just kidding here. He's been leading a gig down on Spring Street, way downtown. there, right a couple blocks before you get to the tunnel. And it's a weird little funny place called The Ear. It's not a weird place. It's got a name. It's kind of weird. The Ear. It just, I pulled my ear, so make sure. And he's been leading the band about 18 or so years. And his band changes around a little bit, so he calls it the Ear Regulars. Okay. It's much better when he does it. But anyway, he's got a CD on the merch table there. It's Live at the Ear Inn. Check that out. Nice. Right. And yeah, Sam Chess on the trombone. Nice. It was beautiful. And how about those clarinets getting into something a little bit more intimate there? If you want, yes, nothing like get into one of those see-through megaphones. There you go. They weren't on the original date, but I decided to jazz it up because occasionally we do movies. Our latest movie, if you went to see it or not, is called The Bride. We did about 6 tracks for that with Jason Gyllenhaal, and I liked our part. Anyway, okay, I'll leave it at that. See it if you can, and you could hear it on YouTube, by the way. Nice tracks. And let's see, next we had a great piano solo. The original solo was a guy named Earl Father Hines, who came from the Pittsburgh area of the world there, and he couldn't make it tonight, as we always know. But Peter Yaron, you did a great job there. Nice, nice. And back there in the percussion section was a strange sounding instrument. When I first heard this record, I couldn't sleep for weeks. Not really. But anyway, what the heck is the drummer playing? It was Zodie Singleton, and he had a device called Baccarat Bach cymbals. And we were one of the few bands on West 44th Street that carries certified Baccarat Bach cymbals. So play that Baccarat Bach for us there. All right, that's good. Paul Wells, there you go. Now you can hear those Baccarat Bachs on the original recording, or you could pick up our recording of it, and it just happened to be right here. Now this looks like a regular long play record, but it's not. It's not recorded at 33. It's not recorded at 45. It's recorded at 78 RPM. Whoa! Yeah, I know you'd do that. So just want to remember, if you buy this, please have a 3-speed turntable. That's all. I'm not going to do the shtick. Have a 3-speed turntable, or else it'll sound very slow. I mean, the record would last very long, but you don't want to hear it that way. Okay. Hey, Mark Lobin, we haven't featured you much, and we're going to do a nifty little tune from 1931 called Sleep, Come On and Take Me. Now, but don't go to sleep on me now. It's a good old good one. I think we're going to have some chimes on this, too. All right. That's nice. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sleep, come on and take me until my love comes home. Sleep, don't you forsake me. Oh, sleep, I'm all alone. All the time I'm by my own, somehow my heart keeps bumping me. Can't you see that I'm sad and lonesome for the want of company? Sleep, come on and take me until my love comes home. Wogan there on that wonderful tenor sax solo. And back there playing the chimes, I thought it was the lady from Avon coming. Yeah, but Paul Wells, give a little of that Avon calling. There you go. Oh yeah, answer the bell. Very nice, all right. Well, all right. Hey, let's play another song that we haven't played in a while. It was on our first album. It was called the New Orleans Nighthawks, and it was recorded in ultra low fidelity. And thank God it's out of print. But the song is good. It came from a Broadway show called Here's How. I have no idea what the plot was about or anything, or even some of the other songs. I'm sure I could find it out. Joseph Meyer did a lot of the writing, and Roger Wolf Kahn, a wonderful band leader who was a multi-instrumentalist at one of the great bands here in New York, the Roger Wolf Kahn Band. Anyway, it's called Crazy Rhythm, and here it is, Crazy Rhythm. Don't get too crazy, guys. 1, 2, 1, 2. Crazy rhythm, here's the doorway. I go my way, you go your way. Crazy rhythm, from now on we're through. Here is where we have a showdown. I'm too hi-hat, you're too low down. Crazy rhythm, here's goodbye to you. They say that when a highbrow meets a lowbrow, walking along Broadway, soon the highbrow, he has no brow. Ain't it a shame? And you're to blame. What's the use of prohibition? You produce the same condition. Crazy rhythm, I've gone crazy too. Visually or by hearing it, I was trying to say the other word, but I can't remember how to say it, that our saxophone section switched to 3 soprano saxophones. Show the folks the soprano saxophones. Yeah, man, there they are. They're not metal clarinets, they're actually soprano saxophones. And you know, in the old days, guys would play soprano sax. Sidney Bechet was the king. Johnny Hodges messed with it, John Coltrane later on, but it never really caught on like the other, like the alto or the tenor. And then, about 40 years ago, when we were starting this band, we were at this place called the Red Blazer, up on the east side. And a young guy showed up with a soprano saxophone. And he says, "Can I sit in?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So he sat in, and he was very good. Turns out, I didn't know this fellow. Turns out he was Kenny G. It was Kenny G sitting in with us. It's true. And I never see him anymore. He never comes back. He's too busy. He's too indisposed. But whatever. So anyway, I decided to do a little homage by having the 3 soprano saxophones, and I gave them their own names. So this is Kenny X, and this is Kenny Y, and this is Kenny Z. There they are, the 3 mysterious saxophone players. I mean, they have real names, of course. There you go. Thank you. I'm glad someone appreciated it. That cost me a whole bunch of toner on my photocopy machine to make that go on. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see what we got going here. Maybe it's time for Joe Boga again. You want to do a little more Louis Armstrong? Sure. Well, why not? This is a wonderful little tune that Louis Armstrong composed with Alex Hill, a great pianist and arranger in his own right, and it was arranged by Don Redman. They got together in Chicago. Louis was in Chicago, and Don Redman had come in with the Pennies band, and they just said, hey, let's put a session together, just like that, and jazz history was made. This was originally done with Louis Armstrong in his Ballroom 5, but we decided to expand it to give everybody a part. So I keep people on the bandstand. They go off and they go, go down and get a donut or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is called Beau Koo Jack, and Beau Koo means you're doing okay, and Jack, of course, money. So you got plenty of money, and I hope so. Joe Boga's going to be on this, and who else? Evan Arnson and Paul Wells and Peter Yaron. That's enough. 1, 2, 1, 2. Jack. Hey, that's Joe Boga. Beau Koo Boga. Whatever. Okay, Peter Yaron at the piano and Evan Arnson playing that great Don Redman solo. Woo! That was burning. All right, and don't forget about the Baccarat box. They had some on there. Folks, I'm sorry to say, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for coming. We had a great time playing for you. And if you like what you heard, please say something nice on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. YouTube, because we're trying to keep this whole thing about live music alive. And Birdland has been on, thank you, Birdland's been going for 77 years. And the reason it has been is because people like you coming to hear live music. And on your table is this little great brochure, little fun little bird there playing a trumpet, and there's a melting snowman. Sort of looks like the melting snowman in my backyard, except mine was a lot dirtier. Anyway, we got a lot of soot in New York and like that. And my snowman wasn't smiling. But anyway, I digress. You just take a look at this great brochure, and you're going to see all these unbelievable great acts that are here every week, every month, 7 days and nights a week. It's amazing, which means that Birdland is truly world's greatest jazz nightclub. What do you think? Yeah, okay. That's what I say too. We're going to close off with a number that the great Jimmy Lunsford did in either the beginning of his show or the ending of his show. This is the end of the show, of course. Written by Jimmy Lunsford, Sammy Kahn, and Salt Chaplin. Mark Lopman took it off the record. It's called Rhythm Is Our Business. 1, 2, 1, 2. Rhythm is what we sell. Rhythm is our business, and business sure is swell. Now if you're feeling blues, rhythm what you need. If you got rhythm, you're bound to succeed. Rhythm is our business, business sure is swell. He's the drummer man in the band. Paul Wells plays the drummer in the band. When he does trick with those sticks, the boys in the band play hot licks. He plays saxophone in the band. Mark Logan plays the saxophone in the band. When he goes down that scale, man, oh man, you gotta hear him well. Mark Logan, I play the bass in the band. I try to play the bass in the band. Now when I pick on those strings, happiness to you I bring. Plays the trumpet in the band. Joe Boga plays that trumpet in the band. He's the guy that hits them high, makes you think you're in the sky.
Giordano and the fabulous Nighthawks. Prince Giordano's Nighthawks. And as Vince mentioned, the Nighthawks are here every Monday and Tuesday night at 5:30 and 8:30. And if you like the music, please visit Kevin at the CD card. We have a great assortment of CDs and LPs. On behalf of all of us here at Birdland, I want to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit.
We'll see the bride.